I can't stop anyone from splurging, but I can share with you the psychological reasons for why people typically spend too much money. And by recognizing these behaviors, you can prevent yourself from falling prey to these money leeches. Hello, I am Thierry, the Finance Hobbyist, and together with you, I'm on a journey towards greater financial freedom. These 9 behaviors are all backed by science. So next time you find yourself or someone you care about in one of these situations, falling prey to one of these money leeches, stop the situation, take a deep breath, see if you can recognize one of these money leeches and reconsider. I can't guarantee that you will win that battle every single time, but at least recognizing the situation will give you a fighting chance. And for me, number 9 is probably the biggest one. Let me know down in the comments which ones you recognize from your own life. Number 1, the opportunity cost neglect, which I also call the Gucci leech. Money spent once can't be spent elsewhere. That's the idea behind opportunity cost. And in the heat of the moment, we often forget about that truth. For example, I once splurged hundreds of euros on a fantastic travel bag. Leather and everything, I really like it. But if I'm rational about it, then I consider that maybe I could have spent that money in a different way. Maybe, for example, on improving my house, which would give more benefits in the longer run to myself and the ones living in this house together with me. So what to do about it? Next time you're in the situation where you want to buy something more expensive, pause and reflect on what you won't be able to buy afterwards. 2. Mental accounting, which I also like to call the Excel leech. You receive a bonus at work. Awesome. Now, that money doesn't go to any of the regular money pots that you usually dedicate to certain things, right? You don't put it into the grocery or the clothing or housework, etc. So it's not in one of these categories, it's extra. What do you do with that money? The trap is to immediately see that money as fun money. So money that you can splurge because, you know, you deserved it. But ever since I became aware of this trap, it has helped me to approach it differently. So what can you do in this situation? Try to think ahead before you even get the money and decide early what you will do with any incoming bonuses. So for example, paying off your debts or investing, repairs in your home, this kind of stuff. Having that plan will help you make a more rational decision when that extra money hits your bank account. 3. Special occasions, also known as the party leech. The reason here is that you spend more money than you typically would because it's a special occasion, and these special occasions don't occur so often in the year, and so you want to make most of it and without having to think too much about money. Only these special occasions most likely happen more often than you would anticipate during the year, and so it all adds up. So what's the countermeasure here? Look at your calendar, plan ahead, and lock in a dedicated budget just for these occasions. 4. The present bias, also known to me as the marshmallow leech. Now, why marshmallow leech? Because of these experiments where kids were invited to either eat marshmallow right away or wait some time and then get 2 marshmallows instead of just 1. It's the same behavior here. Research shows that we have a really hard time imagining our future, and that's why future rewards often seem less appealing to us than immediate rewards now in the present. So do I use the 15,000 euros that I saved up to buy this fancy new car that actually I've wanted for a long time? Or do I wait another few years and then buy a house? So what is the countermeasure here? Find ways to visualize that longer term goal that you set for yourself and remind yourself very often of what that goal really is. It could be as simple as putting on your phone a wallpaper with, in my case, for example, that house that I would like to buy. 5. Avoiding the pain of cash. This I call the credit card leech. So researchers have been able to identify that handing over cash actually causes your pain sensors to work in your brain, and you don't have the same physical response when you actually just use your credit card to pay for something. And especially when forking over large amount in cash, that really hurts. Credit cards separate the pleasure of buying from the pain of paying. And that's also why buying online is so easy and overall maybe bad for your finances. The countermeasure here is to stop using credit cards as much as possible. And if you don't want to go back to cash, at least use a debit card so you can immediately see on your account as well that some amount got subtracted. 6, the what the hell effect, also known as the burn it all leech. Maybe this already happened to you. You failed to toe the budget that you set out for yourself, and since you made that small misstep, you start thinking, screw it, I'll just go all the way. This is when a small lapse in self-control leaves you feeling defeated, and therefore you give yourself permission to just go all the way and burn it all down. The countermeasure to this is to surround yourself with people who can help you snap out of this mindset when it happens to you. Because all you need to do in those situations is to take that step back and look again at the bigger picture. I, for example, make smarter decisions with my partner around because she's there to remind me like, hey, you might have lost this battle, but that's not a reason to just throw the whole war. 7, being low on willpower, also known as the low battery leech. Willpower is very much like a resource. As long as you have it, you can rein in your emotions and your impulses, and it can guide you to make more rational decisions. But when it runs out, you're more likely to get distracted and give in to those same impulses, including impulse buying. The counter here is to increase the amount of willpower. And you can do this with a couple of very simple things. For example, you sleep enough, you reduce the amount of stress in your life, you eat healthily, you exercise, and if all of that does not help, then try to tell yourself, not now, but later. 8, aspirational buying, also known as the retail therapy leech. So when you're feeling down, you might be looking forward to shopping a little bit. Sometimes buying something may make you feel better as you feel that you invest in the future self, right? In the version of yourself that you would like to be. Sadly, the rush that causes is only short term, and you're bound to find yourself even more down because 1, your original problem probably did not get resolved, and 2, you spent money on something that disconnects you even further from your real situation right now. So what's the counter to this? There's not much. Become aware of this behavior and then just don't. 9, the self-justification. I also call this the discount leech. As humans, we have this deep-rooted need to justify ourselves. And so that makes us very good at rationalizing irrational behavior. And this is something that I catch myself doing all the time. Oh, this one is at a discount, so I should buy it. Rather than the more rational, I need to buy this because I need it. With need being then a certain very physical needs in my life that needs to be fulfilled, not just something that I tell myself. So what's the counter to this? Take another deep breath and push yourself to not purchase at that point. Make sure that you wait another 24 to 48 hours and then revisit that decision whether you should still go ahead with a purchase or not. Chances are that feeling, that urge to purchase will have passed and you'll feel back in control. Alright, these were the 9 points. Let me know in the comments down below which point resonated for you. There's really one more way in which companies are trying to lure you to buy instantly and lower the barrier to paying even more. And you should totally watch this video over here. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Cheers!